Beauty standards can cause discrimination based on appearance, therefore, reinforcing stereotypes and contributing to the operation of individuals who do not fit into these standards. Society may not treat those who do not fit into the beauty standards the same way as those who are deemed attractive, especially with the rise of internet influencers. These groups of people often portray beauty ideals that are untenable for most people as they are often based on filters and heavily edited or airbrushed images. This topic is relevant in today's society, especially among the youth, as it influences various aspects of our lives, particularly in terms of self perception, self worth, body image, mental health, and societal norms. Society's unhealthy obsession with beauty has caused some people to become preoccupied with attaining with desired appearance, which can cause serious consequences for both physical and mental health.
We chose two methods of research: individual interviews and a survey. For our survey, we asked a total of 17 questions that were broken up into two sections. The first section of the survey were mainly general questions regarding the topic of beauty standards. The second section focused more on finding the impact of beauty standards towards the mental health of the youths. Questions asked also included the state of their mental health due to beauty standards, their own personal experience of what beauty standards have caused, and behaviors they exhibit that could be due to their mental health. The target of our survey was the youths ranging from ages 12 to 26. We interviewed a total of 2 people, one woman, respondent Y, and one man, respondent R. The interview focused more on our second objective, which was to find if there was any difference between the effects of beauty standards between man and woman. Each interviewee was asked a total of 5 questions, and they answered based on general knowledge as well as their personal experience.
In terms of psychology and sociology, the influence and effect of beauty standards on an individual can be seen as a double-edged sword. Both positive and negative impact can be observed. According to data from our research, most of the participants can agree that the impact can be a bit of both positive and negative, though it may seem that some have the opinions that the impact leans towards more the negative effect than positive. Responses from our survey show that the positive psychological effect of beauty standards include increased confidence and also more motivations for an individual to take care of themselves. Such thinking can be driving factors of behaviors such as exercising and sticking to skincare regimen. This positive mindset, however, can arguably be present mostly in situations where the individual fits the beauty standard of their surrounding community. Beauty standard can also cause following mental problems such as anxiety or pressure to feel attractive, lost confidence, and depleted self-esteem. In situations like this, the individual experience the negative side of beauty standard where they have been judged, ostracized, and discriminated against due to not fitting the mold of what is considered attractive. The negative effect of mental health can be said to be the root cause of obsessive and potential harmful behavior such as comparing your appearance to others, examining yourself in the mirror, or worse, going to an extreme strict diet that may lead to an eating disorder.
Beauty standards in men and women vary across the board, with society placing a pressure on women to fit a standardized description of what it means to be beautiful and feminine, where facial features such as having a fair complexion, big eyes, sharp nose, and pouty lips are looked at as desirable. About 86.3% of respondents from the survey we conducted believe that double standards do exist between the males and the females. Double standards within beauty standards can influence women psychologically and sociologically by swaying and reshaping their perception on beauty and self-worth. These interview responses can also produce a similar result for both genders in terms of psychologically and sociologically, where beauty standards influence men and women with the pressure to conform through a sense of comparison and competition. Responses from the interview suggest that beauty standards affect the mental health of both men and women equally. Respondent R, for example, stated that there is no difference in mental health due to the consequences of beauty standards between genders, and it's more so dependent on the individual. He mentioned that both genders should encourage confidence and self-esteem. Peer pressure does exist in both genders, where both groups seek to be included and fit the idea of being good looking. This idea may be set through the entertainment industry with the commercialization of products that cater to younger audiences. This act strongly puts at risk the chance of being exposed to peer influence through the rampant use of social media that aims to lure, target, and convince a younger demographic with the motive that if they wish to achieve a similar look like a celebrity or an icon or an idol of their liking, they should implement a similar choice of lifestyle.
The understanding of the factors that influence beauty standards as well as its impacts on mental health can also be viewed through the lens of ideology, a set of ideas or beliefs in a group or an individual, which includes modernism, postmodernism, and relativism. Modernism is a movement in the late 19th and early 20th century that rejected traditional ideas and pursued experimentation in art, literature, and design as it began to value subjectivity. Through our survey, it is clear to see that most participants agree that beauty is subjective to the individual. Industrialization brought about massive change, affecting not only economics but also our sense of beauty. In contrast to past artistic traditions, a modernist movement evolved. Artists, through experimentation, frequently embrace controversy in order to wake audiences out of aesthetic complacency. This rethinking of long-held ideas resulted in a significant shift. There might be beauty in disharmony. This allowed for the redefinition of beauty depending on individual or cultural perceptions, rather than aiming for a single set truth. Postmodernism is a theory that examines big cultural narratives as well as socially constructed regimes of truth. Postmodernists reject the notion that a single, coherent narrative can explain the world, instead emphasizing variety and contradiction. Factors from postmodernism that may affect how we perceive beauty may be explained through the ideas of consumerism, power dynamics, and the influence of the media. Through our survey, the majority of participants agreed that the biggest influence on their perception of beauty was made through social media.
Not only has the concept of beauty developed, but so has the media used to represent it. The preceding era relied on sculptures and paintings, but the postmodern era shapes beauty through mass media. This leads to how we consume beauty. According to Aziz, the concept of beauty as consumption opens up the possibility of corporatization, where corporations can shape beauty to their financial objectives. Social media, a now breeding ground for beauty influences, can impact how an individual views their appearance, causing them to feel the need to change their features. Implications of paying for a service or product to enhance beauty can be seen through our survey. As seen through our survey, the pressure to race through an existing trend may cause anxiety. The desperation for societal acceptance through beauty, despite risks of health, should be a discussion of urgency, as it not only entices excessive spending, but entices the modification of features and bodies that are already healthy, which could lead to more health-related complications in the future. Impulsive decisions may be more prominent in time when such ideals and advertisements serve as a norm. Relativism rejects the idea of a single, universal truth. Instead, it suggests that what we consider true depends on our individual experiences and cultural backgrounds. This concept aligns closely with postmodernist thought. Cultural relativism reveals how beauty standards vary across societies and evolve over time, emphasizing that there is no single fixed ideal. This understanding can foster self-acceptance, especially for those who struggle to conform to the narrow beauty standards within their own culture. Recognizing the existence of diverse beauty ideals offers validation and challenges rigid expectations.
In conclusion, we hope to shed light and raise awareness on the impact beauty standards have with our research, as well as educating people that various interpretations of beauty exist. Our study emphasizes the impact of the standards toward the youth and how important it is to recognize and value the variety of ways that people define beauty, and stresses that one's value or self-esteem should not be determined by external beauty standards. Regardless of traditional perceptions of beauty, we can all benefit from healthy body image and self-confidence by challenging cultural norms and promoting an inclusive and accepting community. Our ultimate goal is to motivate significant shift in societal perceptions of beauty in order to create more just and compassionate society for coming generations.